What is up, YouTube? This is DBZ439 coming at you with another deck profile, and this time it's Heroes. I recently took this deck to my locals, and I went undefeated 4-0 with it. Before we jump into the actual deck profile, let's quickly break down my rounds. So round 1, I played Dogmatika Libromancer. I went 2-0. Round 2, I played Karakuri Theorion. I won 2-1. Round 3, I played Pendulum Magicians. I won 2-1. And then round 4, I played Dinomorphia, and I won 2-1. So those were all my matchups. I didn't get to play any of the new decks like Tier Elements or Sprite, I should say. And every round went to game 3 except for the first round. So it was really tough, but thankfully I came out on top, went undefeated. So that was really cool. And before I get into the video, I would like to mention this deck is a going first hero build. It's not like it can OTK, but I'm only main decking 6 hand traps. I really want to go first with this deck because the goal, the way I built this deck is I try to prioritize consistency, and I try to turbo into Plasma DPE, which I think is a really good board. And then obviously if you lose die roll, go second. You hope you open some hand traps, and then you with gas you just push through boards and OTK. So that's the game plan going second. But ideally, if you win die roll, blind, you want to go first with my particular build. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say for, the way I've approached deck building this. And if you guys want a combo tutorial or a test hand video, let me know in the comment section down below. If we get a bunch of likes and views, I'll really consider that. But, with that said, let's start the deck profile with the main deck. Starting off with the monsters, we're going to start with the Elemental Hero monsters. I'm playing triple Stratos. I see a lot of folks only play 2. Not a lot of folks, but some folks, I should say. I think Stratos is really good because Hero Lives came back to 3, so you want to have some Stratos in the deck to resolve Hero Lives. And then if you have an extra Stratos in hand, you can normal that as well. It's a soft once per turn, so it's really good. It's also really good for breaking back row, so that also comes up. It's non-targeting and it checks on resolution. So if you it's really strong. I play 3. Some people play 2, but I will say about one thing about playing 2. If I'm going second, I find myself cutting the third Stratos if I'm going second, because you don't want to see too many normal summons in your hand going second. So you could cut one for one of your side deck cards. That's one of my pro tips in terms of siding with this deck. So you can cut a Stratos going into games 2 and 3 if you know you're going second. For the other elemental heroes, we have double Shadow Mist. This is really standard. I don't see people play 1. You play 2 for 2 reasons. First, you always want to have at least 1 Shadow Mist in your deck for Hero Lives, because Hero Lives essentially is now, or has always been, a 1-card Dark Law. Now it's at 3, so you always want to have a Mist in your deck when activating Hero Lives, because you just want that flexibility. The number 2 reason of why you play 2 Shadow Mist is for the grind game. So if you resolve Vyon twice, you want to have the first Vyon will usually dump Mist or Mali, but in the grind, if you need to resolve Vyon again, you want to have a good dump target. So dumping Mist is really good, or in the grind game, you can use it as fusion material. It's just really strong. I think 2 is pretty standard. I never find myself cutting the second one, even if I'm siding games 2 and 3, unless I need to dig really, really deep to side stuff. But yeah, I think 2 is standard. Next up, 1 Elemental Hero Liquid Soldier. I'm really glad this card got reprinted as a secret. First, because it got a rarity upgrade, and second, it really brought down the cost of this deck. This deck is fairly budget, and when I say fairly budget, I probably mean in the ballpark of $100 to $150, which is pretty budget for a hero deck. If you've been playing heroes for a while, you guys know that the deck can easily go north of $300. But with these recent reprints in the Ghost of the Past and Legendary Duelist Season 3, we got some really good cards to make this deck really budget, like Adusted Gold and the Vision Hero package. So if you guys want to pick this deck up, I mean, it's fairly budget. The only thing is really expensive right now is DPE. It's still $40 to $50, unfortunately. If you guys can wait out a little bit longer, there's a chance it'll get reprinted in the Megatons. That remains to be seen. But overall, I mean, everything else is like less than $10. Like it's a few bucks. So this deck is definitely budget friendly. And again, it's with the perspective of how expensive it was over the last few years. So I'm just really glad cards like Liquid Soldier, Adusted Gold, Vision Heroes got reprinted. And then to round off the E-Heroes, the one Honest Neos. This card obviously helps you go for game, but there's also very niche applications where you need to, if your main combo gets broken up, like if they Veiler your increase, you can still like resolve Poly to fuse like Plasma plus Honest Neos to make DPE, because Honest Neos fills half the requirement of DPE, which is 1 level 6 or higher hero monster, not necessarily D hero. So there's some applications or some instances where I do find myself, I end up fusing with the Honest Neos, like either through Fusion Destiny or Polymerization. Again, that's like a very emergency situation, but just be aware of that. That's it for the E heroes. Let's move on to the Vision heroes. So I played triple Faris. Again, this is standard. I don't think any hero player plays less. This is one of your main combo starters, if not the main combo starter. It helps you tutor into essentially Vyon, which is one of the best cards in the deck because it gets you into your poly and opens up your poly line. So that's really strong. With that, obviously, I'm playing the double increase. I played at 2. I see some people playing at 1. I just find that really risky because if you open the 1, you can't resolve Faris combos. But then sometimes you open the 2, and then you just cry yourself to sleep. But I'm playing 2. Even if you open 1, it's still good pitch fodder for the Faris. So you just always want to have 1 in deck. So that's why I'm playing 2. All right, that's it for the Vision heroes. Again, that whole engine is really budget now. So. That's really good for hero players. For the D hero package, so we're playing double Mali, obviously pretty standard, and the 1 Denier. So these two are your go-to fusion material into DPE, and then Denier is just really good in the grind game, being able to stack Mali. Denier is essentially your 3rd Mali, which is really good, and being able to revive it off a Cross Crusader to trigger effect is good. And sometimes if you need a manually proc effect for Denier for the extra body for the combo piece, like being able to revive itself once per duel is just really strong. So Denier is just so good. I'm glad. Even though Mali's at 2, Denier essentially functions as your 3rd Mali. Last of the D heroes, the 1 Plasma. Again, one of the main floodgates you end on, along with DPE. If you're really nice, you end up with Dark Law as well. It just depends on what your hand is. But Plasma is just really good. Even though it's a small body, when you have Plasma plus DPE, people really sleep on the fact that DPE reduces my opponent's monsters by 1,400. So a lot of people's game plan is okay, if I just run over Plasma in battle phase, I'm good. I can go main phase 2 and just play. But in a hero deck, DPE reduces much more than 400, when Verte was a thing. So usually I'm reducing my opponent's attack by 1,200, 1,400, and then they go, battle phase, damage step, Griffin attack into Plasma, and then I'm okay, you take, what is it? If they lose 14, 6, they'll lose 1,300, and then and they're wait, what? And then I'm read DPE. It reduces by 200 for every hero card. Also, fun fact, DPE doesn't reduce 200 for a hero lives in the grave. It only reduces by actual heroes because of the capitalization. It's weird, but just FYI, keep that in mind. Last of the hero cards, the 1 Adusted Gold. Pro tip, siding games 2 and 3, you should cut Adusted Gold and Dark Calling. Those 2 cards are big bricks, and you could easily substitute them for more side cards. I see a lot of deck profiles not even playing Adusted Gold. And I understand why. It is really bricky, but the card just looks so cool. I just have to play it. But definitely, if you want to cut it all together, that's fine. But pro tip, when I side, I always cut, Adusted Gold with Dark Calling. Those don't really add anything to the combo. And I'd much rather play more defensive cards to stifle my opponent from playing the game. So, okay, that's it for the heroes. To round off the monsters, I am playing Triple Ash. Again, this is really standard. I think branded tier elements will be a thing, so you always want some type of response to branded fusion or Shadal fusion. Ash is always good, always will be good, so I'm playing triple Ash. So that's it for the main deck monsters. Onto the spells in the main deck. So we're playing a triple Hero Lives. Again, this card's really budget. It's common, and it came to 3. The price didn't really spike, except for the higher rarity stuff, but triple Hero Lives is really nice. Just another good consistency card, really good Ash bait. Another good consistency card, triple E-Call. I see a lot of players not playing this, and they just cut it completely. That's understandable. Again, I said I want to go first with this deck, so being able to search into Stratos or into your Shadow Mist, and then, making your hands more consistent, it just gives you the gas to, make really strong boards and play through hand traps. So you could cut this altogether for more hand traps, or you can, like I do sometimes, I cut these going second for more hand traps. So it's up to player preference, but again, I want to go first with the deck. Triple Mass Change, one of the best cards in the deck because it helps A, dodge Imperm Veiler, and B, get you into Dark Law, which, just wins a lot of games by itself. So Mass Change is really good. You play at 3. Sometimes going second, you could cut one. I find myself doing that as well. Mass Change is a lot better going first, so just another pro tip. Next up, Double Fusion Destiny. If you know me, I usually don't main the Fusion Destiny package. I would rather play more hand traps, but this was before DPE came out. Now that DPE is a thing, you just need more ways to get into DPE, honestly. So you have to max out on this card by playing 2. Hopefully it comes to 3. Looking forward to the next ban list. Hopefully they bring it back to 3. I don't think any other deck besides Heroes would profit off of triple DP, but that remains to be seen. But yeah, or triple Fusion Destiny, I should say. But hopefully it comes back to 3. I definitely play the third one. It just gets you into one of the best boss monsters in the deck. To round off the spells, we have 1 Rhoda standard. The 1 Miracle Fusion engine requirement. Same thing goes for Polymerization. You have to play it for the Vyon. And then the last spell is the Dark Calling. Again, you could cut this and the Dust of Gold all together, and you'd be fine. I usually do that when I side. Okay, that's it for the spells. Let's go on to the traps. We're only playing 3 traps. The triple Imperm. If I had Droplets, I'd play Droplets over these. Droplets is really good in this deck because of Trinity OTK, but Imperm is what I have on me. Hopefully in the Megaton reprints I can pick up some more. Okay, that's it for the main deck. 40 cards. Let's quickly go on to the side. Again, this is not really tailored for the new meta, but just mostly for my locals. So triple Droll, I think this is just good against Wombo Combo and Flunder. I think Punk Theorion is still a thing, so Droll is just really good against combo decks and, like I said, Flunder. Again, for the Wombo combo decks, triple Dark Ruler, just to break boards, and then sure you can't OTK, but you build your board and they can't play through your board. For back row hate, we have triple Cosmic Cyclone, and also it's a Mystic Mine out, so that's really good. Just have to watch out in time because you do burn yourself a lot with Cosmic and Hero Lives. So then also for this back row hate, we have 1 Harpies and then 1 Call By for going first. Also, you can go second against Despia, for example, to negate the Brandon in red. The 1 Red Reboot, again, to stop back row. And then for going first, I play triple Anti-Spell. It's a good counter side because opponents will try to side in Dark Ruler, Lightning Storm, Mystic Mine. It's a really good counter side, and it's just some decks need their index spells Despia, for example. So it's really good against them. It's not really good against Sprite, but because they can just chain E-Telly and Sprite Starter. So I'll think about what I need to cut for this, but for now I'd like Anti-Spell on the side. So that's it for the side. Let's quickly go on to the extra. So for the links, you play the 1 Dread Decimator, helps go for game, pierces, helps you link ladder. The 1 Wonder Driver, card's really good for recycling, your fusion spells. You can recycle Fusion Destiny if you need to. It can also like recycle mass changes, which comes up, so you can go double Dark Law. Last of the links, double Cross Crusader. I think minimum 2 is standard because the first one comes up for the combo, obviously. The second one comes up in the grind, but it also like helps you revive like the best card in the deck. Like right now, what I find is I think Super Poly is making a comeback into the format because of I mean, it's good against like Sprite technically because you can fuse the Dupe Frog with Totally Awesome, but it's also good against like tier elements. A lot of tier element players are playing Super Poly, so that's really strong. So what I'm saying is the second Cross Crusader really helps revive the DP if they ever deal with it. And then, like, if they banish it, you can stack it with, like, Denier if you need to. So it's really good synergy in this deck. Again, DPE has always been meant for hero players, so it's nice to exclusively play this card in a hero build. The other Destiny Hero Fusion we play is the one Dangerous. You play this because it makes Fusion Destiny a one-card Dark Law. Because you can essentially normal summon Liquid, revive the Shadow Mist, search Mass Change. So that comes up. It doesn't come up. It comes up in testing, but not so much in real life. So I still play the one. The one Bane, again, this is optional. Adusted Gold is not gonna lie, it's a little bit overrated, but because I cited out a lot, but you still play it because you have the space. For the E-Hero fusions, the one Sunrise for the combo. I don't really go into this too much, but once Wake Up the Hero comes up, this line will be more relevant. The other E-Hero fusion, your Miracle Fusion target, Ab-Zero, you can tag out onto the Mask Heroes. You can tag out Ab-Zero into Acid to basically pop front row and back row, so that's a really good combo. And obviously, if you have it in tandem with the Dark Law, it banishes the whole field, so you just win that way. Dark Law, not much to say there. I mean, it's one of the best boss monsters in the deck. Again, we can consistently go into this card once Wake Up the Hero comes out. To round off the Mass Heroes, the one Anki helps you push for game because it searches another mass change in battle phase, which you can make into Dark Law. The one Blast, this card is really good with Anti-Spell, for example. Really helps control the game state, and it just dodges Imperm Veiler for Stratos. The last monster in the extra deck is one Trinity. Again, Trinity doesn't really come up for me because I don't play droplets, but Trinity is just so good for if you do play droplets, so I recommend keeping in Trinity. But this will be instantly cut once Wake Up the Hero comes out, because Wake Up the Hero is good going first because it searches you, it helps you go into Dark Law turn 1, and then going second, like Wake Up the Hero can attack the entire board and burn for game. So that card is going to be so good. I can't wait for it to come out. I'm anticipating it comes out later this year, but that remains to be seen. Alright guys, that was a long video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know down in the comments what you would do to improve the deck. I really value you guys' opinion. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and have a nice day.